This is the Backlog Exposed podcast with Kevin Lane and Joel Rubel, bringing you weekly discussions on gaming as well as quick insights into sports, entertainment, and anything else that they can think of. Be sure to check out the backlogexposed.com, where you can listen to the podcast and get links to Twitter, Discord, YouTube, and Facebook.
I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And we are
the Backlog
Exposed.
Now, gear up and get ready because this backlog is about to be exposed.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 39. It is January 24th, 2019.
Yeah!
Wait a second, what's that? What is that? Who is that?
I'm Joe.
Oh, we got Joe!
What up, what up?
There he is. Hey, I gotta tell you something, Joe. For real, I ain't going to Vegas unless you're coming with me next time. You understand?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm down. I say we need to get me and you, Lan and Crystal. Like, we need to get the old crew back and just take over Vegas, bro. I'm talking take over Vegas.
You know, it's funny because when you go out there, everyone's got their own rituals, their own things. There's a lot of weird shit going on. I mean, I lived in New Orleans, and New Orleans has a lot of weird shit, but Vegas has a massive amount of weird shit. Like, if you go to Fremont Street, which is where the crazy stuff happens, that's old Vegas, right? And you're walking down the street, and you see a clown, just juggling for the little kids. You know, every 20 or so feet, there's a black circle. And I guess that street performers can rent those black circles out. You know,
oh, really? There's black circles on the ground that you just stand in?
Exactly. They can stand in that circle and do whatever they want. They cannot ask for money, but they can suggest a donation or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, well, it's badass, but it's also kind of weird. Like,
it's kind of annoying too. I bet you walking through, you're just trying to relax, and all of a sudden this guy's juggling. There's a guy 5 feet from him singing, and one guy's beating on some drums. It's kind of like, oh, what is going on?
Actually, believe it or not, I mean, for me, it wasn't annoying. It was actually interesting because you can kind of pick and choose what you want to look at. But 5 feet away from the clown juggling for the little kids is two girls wearing nothing, and just like paint over their nipples.
God, really?
Oh, yeah. It's nuts. And it's like, you don't know what you're going to get. The Chippendales, they got a little booth there. So all the women are going absolutely apeshit. And
looks like a box of chocolates from Forrest Gump. You never know what you're going to get.
Exactly. So we had a lot of fun with that because, being Las Vegas, you have every version of Zach Galifianakis you can. That's people putting in 0% effort and just standing in a circle and, getting $5 every couple of minutes to take a photo with them and stuff. And then you have people who are like really, really good. Like this one magician street performer was doing a whole act and kicked ass, took a $20 bill from my buddy Jim, put it up his nose, and then pulled it out of an orange. It was like nuts, that kind of stuff. And you can go Google it and see how he does it. But I mean, the fact he's just pulling the shit off right on the street, it was one thing after another. They have on Fremont Street, which is the old Vegas, they have it's covered. The whole ceiling is covered with an LCD screen that they play.
Yeah, that's the one you walk. That's when you walk under, right? And it has like the Air Force planes flying through it and all that stuff. Yeah,
it's badass. And they put it to music. Yeah. They have live bands up and down the street, and then people zip line. You can zip line $25 or $45. They have a short one and a long one, and you can zip line down the whole damn street. Which you'd think more people would be puking or something, but no, it's something else. It's a whole experience, and they call it that, the Fremont Street experience. But then, you take the Fremont Street, that's the old Vegas. You go to the new Vegas, the Bellagio, the Venetian, the Aria, the MGM Grand, all that stuff. And it's another world. Like the presentation of everything is immaculate, and some of these buildings are just so intricate. One of the coolest ones I went into was the Luxor, which is shaped like a pyramid. And all the rooms are along the pyramid angle, and then the balconies, when they come out, overlook the atrium, right? And it's hard to explain, but every balcony is up and over the next one. So when you're at the top floor and you're looking down, there's nothing below you. You know, you're at the tippity top of a triangle over a pyramid. And so you can't see the balcony below you because it's down and behind you. You know, you're just like overhanging it. And it gets very trippy, like Vertigo style.
So it's almost like that ride in Disney, man, that Avatar ride, how you get pushed out and you can't see the bottom.
Exactly, yeah. And
that kind of got me off balance for a minute until I kind of got my whereabouts. Yeah,
and there's damn birds flying around in there and stuff. But I guess I was talking to my buddy, one of the guys who came with us, and he said that that's one of the only places in Vegas that people can unfortunately leap from. And so sometimes, you know, every couple of years, there's a story about someone who lost it all on the casino floor and went up to this, 16th floor, whatever it is, and just jumped down. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess there's not too many. All the windows are just locked, and there's no entry or exit from windows and stuff. So it's really trippy to be out there. And of course, we went by the Mandalay Bay and overlooking the scene from the horrible attack last year, and got to see kind of the different angles and, all the stuff you saw in the news. And that was pretty sobering. And, it was just to think all the people down there during that concert that got shot at and how scary that would be. It's like literally just an open field with all these different hotels that can look down on it. It's nuts. And one last thing I'll say is, we were talking about it last week, but perspective in Vegas is nuts, right? Everything is so much bigger than the mind's eye is expecting it to be, so it looks normal sized. You see a hotel and it just doesn't look as massive as it is, 4 New York City blocks or something. And so everything is so much further away than it looks, and you're like walking and walking and walking. We were putting 6 to 10 miles on our feet every day. We were there for an entire week.
I've heard that from more than one person, man. They're like, everybody thinks you can go to Vegas and just walk down the strip and you'll be at this place in 2 minutes. And you're like, no, man, it's like a half hour of just finding your way on all these roads and buildings, and everything's so far apart.
Yeah, and for safety reasons, of course, they they lock down different areas, so you can't just walk down the sidewalk along the whole strip. You have to go up and over, and there's steps and crossing points and whatnot. And again, from far away, it's like, oh, we'll just hit that bridge and then be on the other side, and then we'll cross over there and be over there. It's like that whole process in your mind looks like it would take 5 minutes, and instead it takes like 45 minutes. So we were Ubering everywhere towards the end because we were just kind of sick of waiting for the bus. And you spend a little bit more doing that, but we got to experience more. And we didn't really gamble till the end. Somehow I did some drunk gambling at the end and ended up winning hundreds of dollars, about 400, and recovered any losses I had. So not that I won 400 on top of everything, but
you came out pretty even with them.
Yeah, a little bit over even, after all the food and everything. So I kind of lucked out. I expected to leave Vegas with nothing, to gamble with nothing, and or to gamble with what I had and leave with nothing. But when you leave with a couple hundred in your pocket, it feels like you won a lottery. So, but all the time, man, the entire time I'm there, I'm like, man, Joe and I would have so much fun.
Where's Joe?
Yeah, where's Joe?
Bro, we could have had we could have just owned. It could have been Vegas. It could have been J&K Vegas, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit scared me.
It scares me. It excites me. It excites me.
Out of anywhere, I just hear myself yelling, like, what the hell?
And one of the other things, and Joe and I have been talking about this, but to our listeners out there, thank you. While I was in Vegas, we did a little recording. The audio wasn't as good as it could have been, but we just put a microphone in the round table, and a couple of the guys that I was with, we talked and stuff, and talked about Vegas, talked about games, and funnily enough, both of the guys that were there have a VR unit, so we talked a bit about that. But while I was out in Vegas, I'm looking at the numbers, Joe. What were the numbers doing?
Man, my expectations are blown when it comes to numbers. I mean, we're averaging, I think, 79 or 80 listens per episode now. Even going back to our, episode 1, has over 100 listens to it already, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, something happened, and again, we're not top tier podcasting here. We're just J&K, just sitting from our bedrooms or whatever, trying to get this shit done. And we have a lot of discussion about what 2019 is going to look like. We're both pushing. And before we even started pushing, we're doubling up, tripling up here. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but, I'm just talking into this microphone here and 100 different people want to hear what I have to say. And every time we put something out.
We got 39 episodes, which is awesome. Well, this is the 39th episode. We're already over 3,000 listens or downloads.
Yeah.
So
and the best part of all these stats is, from what I understand, those stats aren't even accurate in the sense that there's a lot of stats that can't be recorded because some of these podcast applications, like Google, for example, will retrieve the podcast once, but then people will listen on the Google Play app. That doesn't count as a play for us every time it's listened. You have to go to the Google statistics to find that. And for a long time, we didn't have enough active listeners on the Google Play app, so we couldn't even see those statistics. So, because you have to have a certain amount or whatever, but we're getting there. And so, even though we're saying, we have about 80 or whatever people per episode on average, the number is probably higher. It's just that some of these other apps are distributing it differently. And so,
which is fine. I'm happy with where we're at. I'm hoping we keep going up and up. But it is kind of interesting. You look out there and out of the 30-something episodes we have, you're right. There's been over 100 different people click on our podcast and come back for episode 2, and then they go to 3, and then now they're going to be listening to episode 39 when we post it, later on today or tomorrow. And it's kind of, you got these people out there that I wouldn't necessarily say they're waiting on us, but they're hyped, man, when they see that episode 39 is available to download. We actually have people out there that download it. There's people out there waiting on us basically to go ahead and get this information out for them so we can be in their cars when they go to work, just have something to people to relate to.
Yeah. And I think, Joe, when we started this thing, obviously you send it out to your friends, your family, you beg people to listen, to like, to share, subscribe. My brother and I were talking a little bit earlier today, and he said, "How much feedback are you getting on your podcast?" I said, "None. It's weird. No one reaches out." Any. And I talked to some other podcasters. I guess this is a thing. It's kind of a known thing in the community. People beg for feedback. They beg for reviews. They beg for, subscriptions and stuff, but people just do it and they don't think to reach out or to say good job or bad job or talk about this or talk about that. I guess that's a good thing for the podcasts that are growing because that means people like what they hear. So, I'm not going to beg people to do this. I think if people want to provide us feedback, they will. And if they don't want to and we keep growing, then I'm happy with that as well. But you can get to our website, thebacklogexposed.com. There should be a contact us link. It goes right to Joe and I. You can go rate us on iTunes, Google Play, or any of these podcast apps. And if you rate us, be honest. If we're 4 out of 5, give us a 4. If we're a 5 out of 5, give us a 5. If we're a 1 out of 5, go away. Get the fuck out of here.
Go download somebody else's podcast.
Yeah, go somewhere else.
What's important though is, we have all these people rating or, listening and all that. And even if just half of those people would rate our podcast, that pushes us up on the level. So we get noticed more. And that means everyone, other avenues will allow our podcast to be on their websites or and their media.
Advertisers.
But if we're not getting rated, man, no one's gonna be able to see us. You know what I mean? Not more. We need to be rated so more people have the options to listen to it.
Yeah, and what's funny is you can go look at a podcast that I know gets thousands and thousands of listens a month, right? Per episode. And you look at their iTunes and they have 15 reviews. And it's weird. We're up to 8 or 10 or something like that. But it's weird that people don't want to do that. And I understand. You have to go out of your way. But if you really like what we're doing, help us out. Hit that button. Go over to the iTunes. It takes a few minutes. If you don't know how to do it, message us on Twitter. Message us on the website. I'll help you out. Joe will help you out. And that's that, man. So with all that being said, we do have some advertising now. Sorry about that if you don't like it. If you do and you don't mind, that's cool. I just spent a couple $1,000s on my rig, and it's specifically for this podcast. So if a couple bucks here and there can chip away at that, it's fine. If not, I'm not worried about it because I love doing this, and same with Joe. So with that all being said, we want to say thank you to the growing number of listeners. It's starting to turn into something really awesome, and we got a lot in store for you in 2019. Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, man, I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I mean, it's January kind of came and gone already, which is crazy. I mean, it's already the 24th of January, man, and this month's already gone, but
I don't
we
even
have
know
11
what year
more,
it is, Joe.
and the next 11 months, man, is going to be phenomenal. We got plenty of stuff to talk about, lots of games coming out, lots of speculation of games coming out.
I don't like to talk too much about this.
That being said, I got to talk to you real quick about that PlayStation Classic.
Oh, okay. Well, before you do, I just want to say that I don't talk too deep about this, but I am a government worker, and I couldn't tell you what year it is because left and right I look around and I don't got no job. So
yeah, man, that sucks. It's something to mention, man. I feel bad for all the government workers out there right now. All of our military. I mean, hell, I did 15 years in the military. When I was in Iraq, I was in Iraq. Kid you not, man, getting mortared. And when the last government shutdown happened, I didn't get a paycheck for over a week, and I was without a paycheck for a week. So we missed, I think it was the 15th paycheck. And there's nothing you can do about it. If I were home, in the States, I could have went out and got a second job at, the local grocery store or the local McDonald's just to make that ends meet. But when I'm in Iraq, dude, I can't get a second job in Iraq, and you got all these, like my buddy right now, Colton, he's in the Navy. He's fixing to deploy. He ain't getting paid. My friends in Maryland, Terry and Sarah. Sarah's she's an 05 in the Coast Guard, active duty. She's not getting paid. Terry works for the State Department. He ain't getting paid. And it's just not fair, dude, that all these people work day in and day out. And
get this
all
shit,
of a sudden, their checks just don't come in no more.
So Crystal and her team, they're I don't want to. Yeah. So, anyways, long story short, Crystal got called back. Right? They're essential. I'm not essential. I'd like to think I'm important, but I ain't essential. Right? So she gets called back into work. They haven't gotten paid. Downtown, there is.
Yeah, man. There's hundreds of thousands of people that have to go to work and not get paid. Again, this is the military. No matter what, it could be 6 months from now. They still got to go to work. And I think that is just shitty, man. That is super shitty.
This, though. Think about this, right? You're not getting paid. You can't pay a daycare, right? So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, daycare needs the money, right? So either
that's what you call a little old hook and ladder take old kid to work day.
Yeah. Well,
and
some people are, and then, but how about this, right? You have no money, right? Because you haven't gotten paid in a month, but there's no free parking downtown. $100 a month, $8 a day,
man.
Right? So
that's crazy.
Like, what they're saying to us is, ask friends and family for money. I mean, Jesus Christ, you can't. But here's the other kicker, right? The other kick in the nuts is that this is the longest government shutdown. And they're giving us some options and suggestions and things. Banks are providing some good loans. I got lucky. My Navy Federal Bank gave us a 0% loan that when we do get paid, they're just going to take my paycheck. Right. But that was a one-time thing. I don't think they're going to do that again. So now here we go.
Well, another thing with that too, USAA, which is pretty much all branches of the military, can go with USAA, and certain government workers or whatever. They're doing the same thing, but they're guaranteeing you money no matter what. They're guaranteeing you money, and I'm not sure on how that avenue works, but they're not going to give you, $2,000. They're going to give you money that you need. Like if they look in your bank account or your past, year of deposits, right?
Yep, they'll follow through with that.
They'll follow through and be like, okay, so for the last year, you've had, you have got from your job, $4,000 a month. All right, so you're already 1 month behind, so that's $4,000. They're not talking about a government's gonna, reopen the doors for 2 or 3 months. You could potentially ask for $16,000 loan, and they're probably gonna give it to you just for the fact that they know they're gonna reopen, they're gonna get that money back. And again, at 0% interest. I mean, a lot of people need to take that into effect, man, because if it's out there, grab it. I would definitely grab it.
it's cool for us that we're going to get paid for all this non-work. You can look at it as a vacation almost, a stressful vacation because we're not getting the paychecks. But I think it sucks from a taxpayer perspective that, taxpayers have to pay for us to sit here on our asses. It's kind of a catch-22. I know the government has trillions and trillions of dollars. I know that we could nitpick left and right, politics up and down, but the reality is, people got to get back to work. But they got to sort this shit out in the government, and hopefully, I'm not one to say one side is bad, the other side is good. That's not the way I work. I'm probably a more central. I like to hear everybody out, and you can change my mind if you have a good argument and all that. But that all being said, compromise is a very important aspect of this country. And when you stop compromising, no matter who you are, it's kind of like fighting with a child, And so both sides, I hope, can compromise, come to some type of agreement. And I hope that this doesn't cause a whole bunch of weird, really shitty earmarks to slip into bills so that people start getting some backdoors into some, free shit or whatever. That kind of happens when spending plans get pushed through real fast. It's a good way for big business to make some crazy money. And I don't know. We'll see. I don't want it to reopen just for the sake of me and my family, but at the same time, I understand that shit's got to get taken care of. So with all that said, we'll keep
good
pushing
luck
out these
everybody
episodes.
Out there that's struggling from this, but I'm hoping they can get back on their feet pretty quick.
So you were going to talk about gaming and stuff. Let's go over to this PlayStation Classic. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. So, I'm a huge gaming collector. Like I said in the past, I have, I think this is my 40 some odd game console now that I have. I have all the classics. I got the Nintendo Classic when it first came out, the Super Nintendo Classic, and then this Sony PlayStation Classic came out at $100. Right?
You find it in the dumpster?
Sony's smoking the fattest weed you could find. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm paying $100. Me and Adam, you said the same thing. Couple months goes by, it drops down to 60. I'm like, oh shit, I can do 60 because I bought the NES Classic for, I think it was 50, and then the Super NES Classic was 70. So hey, we're right there in the middle.
60's only a third of the way.
Hundreds of these things still in stock, hundreds of them everywhere you go. I mean, there's so many because they thought they were going to sell. Not only are they behind the locked glass, they're just sitting on the shelf. Hundreds of them.
Oh my god, dude!
So I went to Walmart last night, got some groceries. And lo and behold, man, I looked down, Sony Classic, $30. $30, man. I was like, you know what? Even if it goes down to 20, I don't care. I tell you what, though, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. So I picked it up last night. There's some decent games on there. Hey, Caleb, my bad, mic cut out. There's a couple good games on there, man. My kids are going to bring it to me real quick. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, big guy.
Did you hear about the emulator, that they're using an actual emulator to run the games?
They're actually using an emulator in this thing, dude.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they put 20 games on it, right? And you could have put every PlayStation game on this if you really wanted to.
Yep.
But that being said, I get it. I get what they're doing. Some of the games though that I have played and really enjoyed, Cool Borders 2, played the hell out of that. Destruction Derby. Hi, buddy. There is the old school Grand Theft Auto with the look down screen from a top.
That has the original Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, man, it's on there.
That's a fun one.
Final Fantasy 7, that's an awesome game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's see here. Metal Gear Solid.
Good one.
Let's see. Rayman. The original Resident Evil Director's Cut's on here, which is that's a phenomenal game. Ridge Racer Top 4, which was a really fun racing game. Stop on Filter. Played the hell out of that. Beat Tekken 3 so many times. I should have my name in the credits. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
Who's your
one
go-to?
of my all-time favorites. Twisted Metal.
Oh, that's one of the best. Who's your go-to in Tekken, by the way?
Man, I haven't played it in so long now. I couldn't tell you hardly any of the guys' names. But I played what was that daggone? Was it the King? That tiger-looking dude?
I was gonna say King and the Breakdancer.
Yeah, I played him a lot. The guy with the wooden shoes. What's his name? God, I can't think. I haven't played it in so long.
Mokujin?
Something like that, but I played him a lot, dude.
There's a tree dude. I don't know.
That one dude that has the stretchy arms too. Forgot his name. Yeah, I don't know, man. Damn near everybody on Tekken was just badass. If you just had to learn how to use them. See, it's not like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat has, 25, 30 players, and out of those, there's like 5 that you just cannot beat if someone knows how to play them. Like Scorpion. If someone gets Scorpion and they know exactly combos, and you're not beating them. Raiden, same thing. If you got Raiden's combos down, you ain't messing with that guy. Sub-Zero's another good one. One of my all-time favorites, man. I can't remember what Mortal Kombat it was on, though, but what was his name? Cyrax or something like that, the yellow guy?
Yeah, he was, and his teammate.
I used to have, man, it used to take an act of Congress to beat me with Cyrax, bro. That he would open that chest up, he'd throw that bomb out. When that bomb hit you, I'd throw a web out. The web would grab you. Man,
is it Tekken 1 or Tekken 2?
What's that?
Is it Tekken 1 or Tekken 2 on that?
Oh, it's Tekken 3.
Oh, Tekken 3. All right.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's not a bad little setup, though. For $30, I really couldn't pass it up. I was like,
Well, I was going to say, I'm sorry, $30 for that unit is absolutely acceptable. Absolutely acceptable.
100%. That's the only reason I picked it up. I was like,
But when you see a company like Sony...
If you were to go out right now and you were to buy, let's just say, Tekken 3, Final Fantasy 7, and just Twisted Metal, hell, we'll even throw in Resident Evil, you're not going to pick up those 4 games for $30.
No. But here's how I look at what Sony was doing here. Okay. You take a niche market like people who love to get this classic stuff and you screw them over. Who are these customers? They're your best customers. They're the ones who care about the history of the fucking franchise and the game, right? What about when you go to the airport, right? You're a McDonald's fan or a Burger King fan. I know this is a silly analogy, but I just experienced it and I'm going to talk about it. You go to the airport where there is 10 times more people in a concentrated area. How much you think a fucking Whopper is? It's 3 times as much at an airport than it is at a fucking mall, right? So they know they gotcha. They know you can't go anywhere else to eat. There's maybe 3 places to eat in the terminal or whatever. And so you're paying a premium for what? It's a ripoff. It's a ripoff because they know they can, and there's no law that says they can't. That's what Sony was doing here. They're taking a product they know a specific group of people are probably going to pay money for. They looked at Nintendo, saw what Nintendo did, and then they basically gave a big FU to their customers, the most important customers. And I think that pissed a lot of people off. And you see here now, you said hundreds are left over. They're selling them for $30 a piece at Walmart. I think I hope that Sony's marketing department, Sony's retail team understand what that really means. And I think what that really means is you've made some people upset. You've price pointed it wrong. And you need to look at what you're trying to do to your most important customer base. Now, maybe they're not the most important customer base. Maybe statistics and market research shows that, the kids who are just clicking buttons on a phone are the most important customers. The kids who don't really care about the content, but, have access to their parents' credit card and can buy whatever they want. I hope that's not the path, but it looks to be the path a lot of these companies, money, you follow the money. But I love when a company can come along and bust through all that. And I look at someone like CD Projekt Red or who, some of these, like whoever's making Far Cry or whatever, and they continue to tailor their game to their customer base as opposed to the best way to make money, like EA Games does with Battlefront or, I guess Fortnite, but Fortnite, quote unquote, is free. I'm okay with Fortnite's format of making money. I
am too to a sense, though. I mean, when the game first came out, though, they were good with it. They were, they weren't throwing it down your throat every 5 seconds about new skins and new backpacks and.
But people want all this it. That's bullshit. What's crazy.
Everywhere you look, you need to buy this. You need to look at this. You need to grab this. I'm like, dude, come on. But
the majority of the players, that's what they want. They want that new skin. They can't wait to see what's next. And I get it, if just like going to a ball game, right? And are you cool with your star player getting $100 million a year? I think it's a little excessive, but obviously that $100 million a year is worth it to the team because there's more coming, Fortnite is willing to shove all that shit down your throat because it's worth it to them. It's not pushing anybody away. It's not pushing enough people away. But then you look at Battlefront. You pay $60 for a game. It's a beautiful game. It plays very, very well, but they hold back content. They stop making updates because, they had committed to, free updates. And then all of a sudden the game's just like not what you had hoped for. You hope for a full game, you get almost a full game, and then they introduce loot crates and stuff like that, and you got to pay to upgrade, and it pisses people off. I really hope that 2018 hit some of these companies in the head to let them know that there's different ways to do it. You don't have to jump into the mobile market. We saw with Diablo and Blizzard getting absolutely humiliated with their offering of the new Diablo game. And I since then I jumped into Diablo 3, which is a 7-year-old game, and I played the hell out of it over the last month and a half, and I love it.
I just think it's kind of crazy though, man. That all these big stream games are going to mobile. Like Fortnite going to mobile to me was kind of like, that's kind of dumb. I mean, all they're doing is really getting money, but games like that aren't made for mobile. You know what I mean?
I actually have been thinking about this quite a bit, because you were around as things evolved, right? The first computer we ever owned, the keyboard was attached to the monitor. Like literally it was all one unit. And now we have a mouse. I mean, when I was first using a computer, there were no mouses. It didn't exist. As everything evolves, the way people learn changes. If you never knew a stationary computer with, where the monitor and the keyboard are attached, then what you have now is what you expect it to be. So that being said, if your first way to play games is on a tablet, right, you're going to perfect that, and your mind is going to think that that's normal. You and I, when I try to play on a tablet or a phone a game like that, there's no way I could keep up. The tactile feedback alone is what I need. I need to know, I need a joystick. I need my thumb to be able to push something so I can know how hard I'm pushing it and how fast I'm going to turn. Well, my 7-year-old can play on his phone or on a phone or something and still do almost pinpoint precision like he would with a controller, because he knows both. It's really weird to me. But like I said, I've been thinking about it, because it's like, if that's the technology that the future is going to take, right, and tactile feedback isn't as important because they never really knew what that was. It's never really that important to them. Then their brains might just adjust, and maybe that is the right way to go in the future. I don't know. I like. Yeah,
I'm not sure either, man. But I mean,
I like a clicky keyboard because I like to know when I'm pressing the damn button. I like my mouse to click loud when but that's just me. Other people like the soft touch keyboards and the soft mouse and all that. So everyone's different, but I've seen some mobile players. There's one or two that are actually making their way into tournaments and stuff and playing alongside PC players. And it is amazing to see what some of these people are capable of pulling off on that shitty platform for that game. And I'm in agreement with you. That
don't get me wrong. I've watched plenty of videos of phone users, and some of these phone users, man, can give console users a run for their money. It's impressive on how they do it. That being said, I'm not sure if they're using like a Bluetooth controller or how it's working, but
some of them are, but there's one specifically that people were saying you're using this or that, and he set up multiple cameras and proved that he wasn't. And then he went to a LAN event, I believe. I can't remember his name, but he went to an event where he was with everybody, other players, and just demonstrated that he is a top tier player with that platform. So it'll be interesting to see if they let that type of platform into a pro event. I think the pro scene is starting to evolve. There needs to be, along with the seasons on the, this is just my opinion, to maintain the interest, there needs to be some level of seasons integrated with the Fortnite pro scene, and maybe season-long rankings. I mean, they have a season for a reason within the game, so it'd be good to know the top kill count for the top 100 players or something like that. This guy, Ninja and this other guy, High Distortion, who's a Twitch streamer for Fortnite, they were neck and neck. They both had 99,000.
Yeah, who ended up getting that?
High Distortion did. He ended up grinding it out, and he outlasted Ninja. Ninja kind of, I think, when he realized either A, it wasn't going to be good for his image, or B, couldn't beat him. I don't know which one is the likely scenario. He actually said, I'm done. I'm going to let HD take it from here, or something like that. So good on him. I know Ninja gets a lot of shit, but I think behind the scenes, the players like him and they like what he's trying to do for the community.
I don't know, man. I watch a lot of his videos. I've seen a lot of the stuff that he's done, and his problem is he acts like he's two different people. Now that being said, he has his normal streams, right? He'll be straight A, rated for 10-year-old kids and below. Like he's doesn't cuss, doesn't do any of that stuff. But then on like his midnights, he'll do like drinking games, and then he'll be cussing and all this, and it kind of got him in trouble. And that's one of the backlashes that he got. He was like, "Man, that was just me and some friends having a good time." I'm like, "Well, you can't be two different people, man."
Well, he started doing.
Eventually, that stream's going to be posted. Just because you said it was for 18 and older doesn't mean some kid's going to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. A lot of the streamers are trying a dark mode, where after hours type mode. But like you said, the streams are there perpetually.
A stream's a live event. Like once you stream and it's posted, it's posted. As long as you submitted that to Twitch or you upload it to YouTube, it's viewable by anybody. I don't care if they're 3 or 30. They can see it.
I want people to take perspective here into account, right? You're at your job, you're working your ass off. Your whole life you've been struggling or whatever to get that bump. Your boss comes in and says, "We're going to promote you, but you're going to be the boss of everybody." A lot of people aren't going to fucking like that, right?
No.
But do you turn it down? It's an opportunity of a lifetime.
No, you wouldn't turn it down.
So here you got Ninja. He's been streaming for years. He was the annoying kid back in Halo, and but he's evolved. Now his shit is in Walmart. Okay, the guy got the promotion. He is the top dog when it comes to Twitch streaming. Sure, there's other people nipping at his heels. There's other people who are better at it. There's other people who are gaining on him. But he's the face. He's the face of Twitch. Twitch obviously is going to give him some leeway. They're going to give him priority over others. And other people will take offense to that. Other people won't like it. Like when they were advertising his New Year's Eve event on other people's streams, people got pissed off. His response to that was, "This is going to help everybody." Their response was, "Fuck you," basically. That seems to have been sorted out. But really, I don't blame him, right? He wants to probably be the guy who can swear, the guy who can say what he wants. But then you got Walmart. And then you got, your market is kids. He didn't choose that. He didn't. That happened. It just happened in a matter of a month or two. And he went from being a kid.
It did, but at the same time,
But I mean, Joe, imagine if tomorrow you had $100
millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Then you need to play by their rules. You need to play their game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Playing by their rules is being... Play their rules,
and then at midnight, you become an asshole, and you start cussing people out, and you start being a dickhead to people. No matter what you do, you're going to get scrutinized for it. Someone's going to watch that video and be like, "Damn, dude,
he was losing subscribers.
My 12-year-old kid looks up to this guy and watches every one of your streams, and then this stream came up, and then now you're just a total dick. You're cussing people out. You're downgrading people. You're belittling people. And then the next day, Saturday at 1:00, you're back to, 'Hey guys, it's Ninja. I want to let you know, blah blah blah.'" And that's what the whole thing's about. Like, you can't
He is bleeding subscribers.
People.
He's bleeding subscribers, right? He's losing the people who want to see the regular Ninja, the one that they subscribed to a year ago, and he's got kids, right? But the kids they're just viewing. They're not all those kids are subscribing. So he's trying to cater. I think he's taking a gamble, and you don't like that gamble. Maybe some people do. I like being able to see the normal side of that guy because I think it's a more appropriate way of when I watch him.
I like seeing people be just who they are. Like, for instance, Shroud. If you go watch Shroud, ain't that his name, Shroud?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, dude. He's like calm, cool, and collective. Oh, fuck this. That dude's over there. He got me. Man, fuck that dude. How do you get me there? How do you shoot like that? How do you do that? Oh, shit, there's a guy on my back. Oh, fuck that guy. I got him. That's just normal playing, dude. He's not being fake about it. You know what I mean?
Correct. And you can tell when Ninja's being fake, trying to cater to the kids. Like, if you come watch one of my streams, I try and keep it PG-13 as much as I can. But every now and then, you know, if I get shit on, I'm like, oh, fuck this. I get pretty animated. But I'm not trying to be a different person. I'm just not trying to be the rated X guy all the time, because
try and keep it down because I got stuff going on. But it just, I don't know. It just,
I like to cuss when I'm playing games, not to attack anybody, but good F-bomb here and there.
It's just being
me
like that. I'm not gonna sit there and call you a low life piece of shit.
No, I don't do that.
Nothing like that.
But I ain't afraid of throwing a what the fuck.
I may give you a little country cussing.
You're gonna give us something is what you're gonna give.
I'm gonna give him a little something.
A little bit of something.
And so
that's exactly what they're gonna get, dude.
While we're talking about this type of stuff, I want to there's two routes I want to take, but the first one, real quick, just kind of give a recap of some of the new stuff in Fortnite. I'm going to turn to you and ask a little bit about Blackout because I haven't been able to play in about 2 weeks because of the trip and the moving and everything. But real quick, so Fortnite's in, it's almost halfway or more than halfway through Season 7. We got last week while I was gone, they had a big event that some people loved, some people hated. My kid was so excited and loved every second of it. Like, he thought the world was going to stop for Fortnite. Basically, the Storm King or Ice King or whatever his name is unfroze.
Yeah, the Ice King.
Yeah, and he blasted the whole map with ice, so now everything has got snow over it. The challenges for it, but they brought back zombies like they did for Halloween, and a lot of people are pissed off about this because they hated zombie mode in Halloween. There's no regular mode in the game that doesn't include zombies again. And some people don't like it. Looks like it's going to be there for a few weeks because the challenges that go along with it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of challenges about the Frost King or the Frost.
Yeah, Ice King.
Frost Knight or something like that. I don't really get into it that much anymore. But my kids play it and they were showing me. And now the funny thing about it is they have snowman decoys like the bush.
Like those. Yep.
You can throw 2 snowman decoys and then you turn into a snowman. And I think that's just hilarious, dude.
It's funny. Yep. No one knows which one's which, and then boom, you blow them away. And so they're trying things. I think personally they're trying too much. It's such a different game than it was even 60 days ago. Like drastically different with the planes and there's so much mobility. They've taken redeploy and put it back into the game as an item. Redeploy now, they give you like 50 gliders or 10 gliders, and it's one of your items, like one of your weapons. If you want to be able to redeploy, there's so many things that I don't mind the game that was there back when the prison was there and Moisty Mine. I don't mind that. I don't mind some running, some tactical stuff. The tactical is gone in this game. The tactical has gone from, being careful and calm and collected and playing the game with some type of, like I said, tactical method to push, run, gun, and build over and jump and fly and turn and blast. And it's just such a different way to play the game. I'm okay. I still enjoy it, but again, it's just such a different game. And I know a lot of people aren't super happy and some people love it. So I think this is, now we're a year and a half into this game, or a year and a few months. And, the Epic is got all the money in the world to do the market research, all the money in the world to make big changes and push things. But who knows?
I don't know if they're ever going to change it, man. Like, I just don't think they care anymore. Like, they have enough people to where they're just making money hand over fist, and they're just like, you know what? If they don't like it, oh well. They'll figure it out because we're going to continue making just random shit happen.
Yes, but they care, but in the sense of how do we keep these people here? Not in the what would be a lot of fun. In my opinion, I'm sure that there's still people at Epic that love this game, that live, breathe, and sleep this game. But there's a board of directors now, I'm sure, who get to make the ultimate decision. And it's about how can we monetize this? How can we capitalize on this? And how can we keep people playing it? And sometimes that's going to be fun, but other times it's going to be shock value, like the sword or the boombox or whatever. They just but they're definitely not trying to piss people off. They're trying to keep people.
They're not trying to piss people off, but they're also not listening.
They're not worried about people. Yeah, they're not worried.
They're not worried at all. Like they know no matter what they do, they're still going to get their millions of dollars a month that they make. Some astronomical amount of money.
And so with all of that, the astronomical amounts of money, with the command and power that Epic now has because of Fortnite, Netflix did their earnings statement for 2019, and they talked to their shareholders, and they have labeled Fortnite as their number one competitor over HBO. Not a joke. Not a joke. Not a hey, keep an eye out. This is an official statement to their shareholders that their number one competitor, the number one thing taking viewers away from them, is Fortnite. And so that is huge news that I think kind of flew under the radar, because Netflix has become one of the biggest powerhouses in all of media and all of, television and all of that. They're the cable killer, but they have recognized that there is something else impacting them. And so I don't know if they're going to see a crossover. I don't know if you're going to see Fortnite try to do, now that they know that they have that angle, if they try to do something else. I mean, once you're on the radar for somebody, you're going to start doing something to they're going to do something to you.
Once you're on the radar for Netflix, that's pretty ballsy, dude. Like, something's going to happen. You know what I mean?
I'm excited to see what does happen. But I don't know.
Netflix is going to come out and be like, you know what? We're going to buy Fortnite. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Fortnite's going to buy Netflix, dude.
Either way.
But that Fortnite's going to be representing the Australian Open tennis match, which is really just a weird combination. They're doing an event over there for the Oceanic servers, and I think it's going to coincide with the Super Bowl, or they're going to do something for the Super Bowl. I don't know if it's going to be in the Super Bowl or a side thing that, kind of like some of these companies do halftime shows of their own. We'll see what happens as we get closer to them Pats going to the Super Bowl.
Man, ain't nobody wearing no damn pads going to Super Bowl. Come on now. I'm not mad, dude. Them guys, they play good, but I don't know.
We'll talk more about that next week, because I want to turn to you about the other. I want you to talk a bit about Call of Duty, because we haven't given our listeners the Call of Duty service that it deserves. But I think next week, as we gear up to the Super Bowl,
Blackout quite a bit, and last night we had a pretty rough go at it. We were struggling last night, man. We still had fun. We were struggling for sure. But a few nights ago, I played and went on a rampage, dude. I had a paladin. We were sitting up right above right below the asylum, and I hit 5 sniper shots from way far off than I should have been shooting. But for some reason, man, I was just landing them. And we didn't win that game, but I ended up getting, I think, 6 kills. I'm going to be posting that on YouTube probably either today or tomorrow, but it was nuts. But I don't know, man. It's just that game to me is just fun. I mean, even when you get killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, damn it, man, he got me. But at the same time, it's not because he outbuilds you or he out whatever. It's just when you get the drop on someone in that game, it's it. They're done. And sometimes if they're wearing tier 3 armor, it's a little different, because that is one of the advantages they have, is that tier 3 armor. But
I would say,
even then,
Joe,
man, sometimes you get that tier 3 armor, you can still run somebody with a certain gun you use,
I would say, and I think any game can be fun with the right crowd, but I think Blackout does a phenomenal job of getting people together to play that tactical game that I'm talking about with, like, the original Fortnite. Well, yeah, you could build in the original Fortnite. You can't just be silly in Blackout. Sure, we drove that.
Dude,
there's moments.
You can, if you're not really like.
Well, like remember a couple weeks ago, we were driving around in those RV or whatever 4-wheelers, flying around, just hitting people, shooting people, like going 100 miles an hour right through the map. You could be silly at a risk, at a cost. But
yeah,
Blackout gives you that team feeling way more, and I love it. And I love playing with you guys, because not only do you take it seriously, you're good, and it's each round is like an experience. You reset, you gear up, you do your thing.
Yeah, man. Every time you get killed, you're like, all right, well, they got me on that one. Where the hell can I go this time to make it better? Or, you know what, I'm not going to use that gun anymore. That gun sucks. Or, so many different avenues, man, that you can play in that game.
So as the game's evolved over the past couple of months, what type of loadouts do you look for specifically? Do you change it up, or do you stick with one?
Nah, man. As of right now, me and Adam run a pretty religious setup. Like, if he finds my gun, I get it. If I find his gun, he gets it.
And what gun is that?
We don't use the same gun. So, like, for instance, I run the SWAT. The SWAT is the gun that I go to the most, and that's my gun. So if he finds a SWAT, it becomes my gun.
What type of gun is a SWAT? I don't think I've.
It's a AR, but it's just released. Here within the last like 2 updates ago, maybe.
Oh, but, okay. That's probably why I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a badass gun, dude. I mean, it's brutal. I mean, if you get somebody one-on-one with a SWAT, you have the upper hand when it comes to that because it shoots fast, it's accurate as hell, and it's nasty. And a lot of streamers and a lot of people that play that game religiously have even said, from now on, I'm taking the SWAT over whatever. But Adam runs the Rampart a lot. Usually, anytime anybody plays with me, you or Adam, I have dibs on every sniper rifle.
Oh yeah, that goes to you.
Because it's just fun, man. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's yours. That's yours every time.
Because it's not that I'm good or great at it. It's just sometimes I can be pretty damn on target with it. And I don't know. I just enjoy it. Other people don't really enjoy it. Like you like sniping occasionally. Adam likes sniping occasionally, but you guys are more of the ground team running in, getting shit done. And I'm more of the like, hey man, there's a guy on this side. I'm going to go ahead and shoot at him. And if I miss, whatever, you guys can get him on the ground.
I've been a fan of the ICR when I play. If I see that gun, I pick it up. I feel comfortable with the ICR, but it's loaded out. The
ICR is still good. I mean, they didn't, the only thing that pisses me off is they nerfed the SDM, the sniper rifle. I mean, I was going to say that's also a gun I love. It bad.
Really?
I mean, it's not even worth picking up anymore, dude.
Oh, you kidding?
I mean, it's terrible. Like I was super pissed whenever they nerfed it. They nerfed it that bad.
Oh yeah, look at that. I'm just pulled it up.
They nerfed it bad. But I mean, that's what happens when you have people bitching and griping, like, oh, the SDM hits too hard. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, dude, it's a sniper rifle. There shouldn't even be a damn concern about a sniper rifle. Like that's the point of it. When it hits, it hits. What it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one-shotted in Tier 2 armor because I got shot in the head. Well, guess what, guy? I don't give a damn if you're wearing Tier 47 armor. If you get shot in the head, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to take you out of commission.
It's
not supposed to give you a chance at life again.
It's really weird how how some of that process, you got to wonder, right, when they decide to make those decisions, because those are pretty big decisions. When you're making an adjustment to a gun and like you play one gun, another guy plays another gun, when you make a change like that drastically changes something so that it's barely usable in the eyes of the person who did it, you're gonna piss a lot of people off. They do that with Fortnite, dude, quite a bit, and I'm sure a lot of games that games that I don't even play. So I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe it was necessary in some extent because of how good it was, but you can't take a game or a gun that's that good and make it useless or make it not usable at all. You got to adjust it. So that I don't know. It got a little.
They went a little too much with that gun. I mean, I understand if you want to nerf something, make it reasonable. I mean, it's drastic. I mean, it's drastic to the point to where I'm like, I don't even probably pick it up.
Not to sidetrack off of Blackout, because I still want to get some more talking on that. But have you seen the resurgence of Sea of Thieves, or are you familiar with this game?
I've heard a few things about it.
So a lot of the streamers have, I think it's Shroud who plays Sea of Thieves, and he's been playing it pretty heavily for months. And a lot of the streamers are just kind of getting sick of some of the other games, and they're jumping over to Sea of Thieves. And I think it's an Xbox only game. I could be wrong, and here's a chance for viewers to correct me if they want to. But it's basically a pirate battle game where you and a couple of folks can commandeer ships and jump over and take over ships and stuff. And every time I pull up Twitch, I see, instead of I'll have I have a lot of people on my Twitch account that I follow, but you'll see 4 people playing it instead of none or 1 or 2, and these are the bigger streamers. Dr. Disrespect right now playing this game, and which is surprising. But maybe that's something to look into. I don't know how much it costs or if it's free to play or anything like that, so I'm going to look at it. It's on Xbox One. So maybe we could fire that up one of these games, and just give it a shot. Unless it costs money. If it's $60 or something, I'm going to pass. But anyways, I just thought that was an interesting thing, because you think about, it's Fortnite versus Call of Duty, but it's really not. I mean, there's still people playing Battlefield. There's still people playing this, Sea of Thieves. There's Overwatch is obviously still a big streaming game, League of Legends and all that stuff. So there's options out there, and all these companies, all these games got to compete with each other while competing with themselves. Like you said, a change a weapon might piss somebody off. They might turn the game off. They might say, I don't want to play this game anymore. So they any little changes that they do could either bring a lot more people or shut them down. And so I know a lot of people have been asking for like map changes and stuff in Blackout. I know that they added the boat. I forget what it's called, heist or something like that, or whatever.
Hijack.
Hijack. Have they done anything else like that in Blackout with the maps, or I know they've added some weapons.
There's some things they're tossing around. They're going to try and add some more maps on there, but Hijack was kind of it's literally the entire, which is pretty cool. I mean, they just dropped the boat by the water, or in the water there, and you can land there, and once the circle moves, you jump out and you swim to shore. It's pretty cool. We've landed there a couple times, and me and Adams walked away with a couple kills, but it's not a very good spot to land because it's super close quarters, and if you don't land on a gun, it's kind of like, game over.
I feel like that's not the best addition that could have happened.
It's not, but I mean, over by the turbines, there's a whole map ready for upgrades. Up by the asylum, there's a bunch of spots that you can upgrade right there.
Well, if you could add a map,
the lighthouse has a huge field down there. I mean, there's plenty of places for them to add, which they are, or else they wouldn't have had all this open space.
True. Do you have any? I guess it would be Treyarch and Sledgehammer, right? Do you have any Treyarch Sledgehammer games or maps that you would like to see?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I forgot the name of the map, but it was like the courtyard type map where they there's like a little small village city type thing. That'd be kind of cool if they were to drop that down past like Rivertown or over by the lighthouse, little village. Yeah, I do think
that area needs something. And like you said, there needs to be a little bit more over by the asylum, because I mean, when you're over there is a lot to do, but it's like, I mean, it's
the asylum and the graveyard, and then there's just huge mountains and fields and nothing else. So it's kind of like they need to put something in there. And even if it's not a map from a game, just add something there. Add something. Make something new. Add caves. Add ledges, or add tunnels. Add something.
I agree.
But yeah.
So little bit of Team EMAR here. So I threw some suggestions at you. A lot of suggestions and a lot of text and stuff. And I think that this year, and we can talk about it more offline, but what did you think? Possibility of kind of sharing the name, trying to get some people to apply to be part of it. We could.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool, man, to have like a little, to take our brand, Team EMAR Gaming, and turn it into like a squad base, have multiple people, multiple teams.
I mean, we got to have at least 4, right? I mean, if we're going to really truly compete,
use our name and actually be part of something, and actually be able to stream with it, or to use it as hey, we're on this team, we're going to join this event. It'd be kind of cool.
You think about like MMORPGs and whatnot, they have their clans and their guilds and whatnot. And back in the day, I mean, I talked about it a lot before, but the Shadowbane stuff, I built an empire. I mean, I had multiple cities. Me and my buddy ran them. We were the head guys. And at any given time, I could log in, and there was a couple of people. I mean, I never met them in my life, never talked to them on the phone or nothing, but I trusted them with the hundreds of hours I put into that game. I mean, I gave them access. I gave them this and that. And so that's also obviously got to be learned and earned. However, we got to be able to jump on and sign up for these tournaments that are, there's a lot of free to play tournaments and stuff just to get your name out there. And we got to be able to have 4 at any given time, whether it be you, Adam, and 2 others, or me, you, and Adam, and somebody else, or, Ray or whoever. But that's my suggestion there, is that we update the website with a little bit of a sign-up sheet or something, and take a couple of these games and build out this Team EMAR, because you've started, you and Adam have started something pretty solid there with that, and it's growing. I mean, people are listening, people are paying attention. Your website, teamemargaming.com, is getting its attention. You can get your discounts on Lucid Sound, and it's happening. I mean, people are doing all that. So why not take it to the next level?
Lucid Sound is something I was able to get affiliated with about a year and a half ago, and I wasn't really posting it too hard or advertising it too hard. And now this year, well, within the last 6 months, I've sold about 15 headsets. Made some money on it.
Yeah.
They're sending me a care package today or tomorrow. It's going to have a new headset in it and some other stuff, and I'll be doing an open box on my YouTube channel about that and explaining what headset I got and the perks of it. But that's all I use is Lucid Sound. I really enjoy them. I mean, they're awesome.
Yep. And we've put applications out to be affiliates with some of these other bigger companies, and as we grow, they're gonna work with us hopefully and do that. But yeah, you swear by it. You use it. Use Lucid Sound is what do they say? Team EMAR when they buy it. What's the code?
Yeah, you just put in the promo code is Team EMAR, all one word, and you get 20% off. Which that's a pretty big chunk, man. 20% off anything's a lot.
Yeah, especially when you're getting like $100 headset. I mean, now you're paying $80.
Yeah,
and they're good headsets. Let's see. So I guess to kind of wrap it up because we're hitting the hour mark here. A couple of games coming out in the next few weeks and months, I guess, but between now and March-ish. Real quick, I do have to say that tell you about this. I can't talk about it because I have an NDA, but I got access to the Dreams beta.
Oh, and nice.
What I can talk about is that somebody posted videos of the Dreams beta on Reddit, and they've been asked to get it taken down. I don't know if they took it down off the Reddit or not, but you could probably Google it. I'm sure it's out there. But someone recreated the game PT. Do you remember that? It was a demo, a scary demo of Silent Hill.
Oh, yeah. Hell with that. That was nasty. I saw it.
You can't get it anymore, right? And someone recreated that game in Dreams just to show you what Dreams is capable of. When you go through the intro part, Crystal was asking me, what is this game about? I said, everything. And that's what the intro tells you. This game is anything and everything. You want to make Fortnite? You can make Fortnite. You want to make pinball? You can make pinball. It's nuts. So I can't wait to really dive in and play some of it, provide my feedback to the company, and I can't wait for this game to come out for real. It's going to be VR as well. There just seems like the sky's the limit with that game. We've been waiting for that for we've been talking about Dreams since I think July on this podcast, day one. So now it's actually happening and people are getting their hands on it. A couple of games coming out that we've been waiting for. Days Gone is coming out in a couple months, as well as Anthem, which I think
I'm getting Anthem.
Yeah, that could be the next.
We're getting that.
Yeah, that could be the next esport game. I think after playing it on the beta, that was a fun game. Trials Rising is always going to be. Trials games are hella fun, so that'll be good. And my name is Earl, so Toe Jam and Earl coming out to PlayStation a couple months.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to Division 2. I think Division 1 was decent. Could have been better, and I think I'm hoping that they got their feedback and that it pushes through and is actually a solid game. In a couple of days, we have Far Cry New Dawn and Kingdom Hearts. And then we also have, I don't know if I already said it, but Days Gone, which is supposed to be, just one of these story-driven, really awesome games that people have been waiting for years. It is a zombie rusher type thing. Some people are sick of zombies. I'm ready for it. And Metro Exodus. So those are just a couple that are top of my head. We'll talk more about those as we get closer to those release dates. And I probably the next podcast we'll be able to talk about Kingdom Hearts because I think that comes out tomorrow.
I think so, yeah.
So I know my wife will want to play that, but I don't know, man. I think so. Next episode, let's talk a little bit more about. Let's get some Blackout in between now and next episode. We'll talk about how we do there. I'll try that new gun of yours, and we'll talk about Kingdom Hearts if there's any reviews there. And we'll talk about the St. Louis. What is it? San Diego Ram? No. Where are the Rams these days? Who cares about the Rams?
LA Rams, bro. Los Angeles Rams.
Do they care about them over there?
I mean, they were originally in the California area, wasn't they? Weren't they originally LA Rams? And they went to St. Louis for a long ass time, and they went back to LA. I'm
just wondering if people even give a shit about the Rams.
I'm sure they are.
I'm just messing.
I mean, and to tell you the truth, though, man, that was
fucked up. They shouldn't be there. This should be Saints Pats Super Bowl.
It should be Saints and Chiefs Super Bowl.
I was gonna say even a Saints Chiefs. I mean, those calls They were legit.
There was so
calls,
many and I'm not gonna say I don't like the Pats, dude. They're fucking phenomenal. But
those two calls at the end of the game,
both those games were fucking blown. Okay.
At the end, no. The game, the Pats had two calls.
Blown calls everywhere, dude. On both games. I don't care anybody
the two important calls with the Pats were not blown. Those were legit. It just was stupid fucking playing by the Chiefs.
The one that got me was the roughing the passer.
Well,
he never touched his head, dude. He touched his shoulder pad, and that is really what got them them in the game, or got them back in the game.
You're right. I think that they did, but I'll go check.
Call after blown call after blown call. I mean, hell, the head of referees even came back and said that they completely blown and missed that call in the Saints game.
That was 100%.
He said the Saints should have won that game. That should have been game over. They should have won right then. Saints should have been in the Super Bowl. They blown that call. Yep. They even admitted to it.
That was unquestionable, too.
You can't even do that shit. Oh, it was completely 100%. There wasn't even you could have got a blind ref out there and he would have seen that shit.
I would have liked to see a Saints-Pats. I lived in New Orleans for a bit. Got some friends that are hardcore Saints fans, and I actually wouldn't mind seeing them win. Rams, I have nothing for them.
I don't think the Rams is going to be able to hold a light to them, dude.
No, but I mean, who knows, right? Who knows? But that being said, either this could be redemption for the Rams, right? Or it could be a swan song for Brady where, he gets his first and last Super Bowl against the Rams, calls it a day. I don't know.
I think if Brady wins this year, him and Gronk is done.
I agree. I think so too. I wouldn't mind keeping him for a couple more years, to be honest. But
I'm telling you right now, though, dude.
But what would he have to achieve?
Don't be surprised if the Patriots come back next year just as good, because I'm telling you,
I wouldn't.
Tom Brady, he's good, but I'm telling you right now, it's that fucking team, dude.
The team
if it wasn't for Edelman,
oh my God, he's awesome. He is awesome.
Your Tom Brady would have been on the fucking bench in the third and fourth quarter.
And not for nothing,
he couldn't do shit in the third and fourth quarter. If it wasn't for Edelman and Hogan making those stupid ass catches that were nowhere near on target, bro, that one that Hogan caught was about 4 foot outside of his reach.
That was sick.
Somehow he picked it up. But again, it's them making Tom Brady look good and Tom Brady getting all the credit. That's what always pisses me off. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. I'm a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. Aaron Rodgers can throw the perfect fucking ball and it'd be great. And then he can throw the next ball to whoever and it'd be so fucking far out of their reach, but still catch it. Oh, what a great throw. No, it wasn't. That was garbage, man.
The one thing I love about Aaron Rodgers and I love about Tom Brady is maybe they get the credit, but they give the credit. Tom Brady doesn't ever say, hey, I'm the best quarterback in the league, and that's what you get. Eat shit. No, he says, if it wasn't for my team, we wouldn't be here. We have a great team. And he'll call out Edelman, he'll call out Gronk, he'll call out Hogan, whoever. In his defense, he always does. And so it's easy for the media to look at the quarterback and say, quarterback is the number one, and this is why they won. But luckily, the quarterbacks, the good ones, acknowledge how they got there. And I think it's very important, in my opinion, that he remain a team player quarterback. I think that Brady, I told you before, I love Aaron Rodgers. I'd love to have him as my quarterback. I think Brady gets a lot of shit because he is the center of attention every time. And you say, Jesus, this guy, he wins Super Bowls. He's got the supermodel wife. He's got whatever the hell he wants. And, he's just smiling, that smug fuck. But at the end of the day, that guy has never gone on TV and bitched anybody out. He's never gone on TV and said, I'm better than you. He always compliments the opponents, and he gets shit on for all of it. I'm glad that I like him, and I'm glad I get to experience it. I think regardless of whether you're a fan or not, you cannot deny that we're in a time where 100 years from now, they're going to look back and say there was a guy named Tom Brady and his coach Bill Belichick. Hopefully the others get acknowledged as well. But it's a reality that this guy is going to the Super Bowl for the 5th time in 6 years. It's absolutely an astonishing stat. And that the team itself has just dominated the AFC for so many years. I think once you break up the combo of Belichick and Brady, no matter who is on the team, you're going to lose a dynamic. Even if the rumors are true that they hate each other or that they love each other or, that Bob Kraft hates Bill Belichick or all that stuff. the dynamic is that they're a good team. And it doesn't matter if they like each other. They can take Randy Moss. They can take,
I mean, let's just be honest, dude. If you took Aaron Rodgers and moved him to the Patriots, it'd be the same story.
It would be the same story. He'd be phenomenal.
If you took Patrick Mahomes to the Patriots.
Oh, my God, dude. I would take him in a heartbeat.
I don't understand where the fuck that guy came from. But let me tell you, if he was on another team besides the Chiefs, and don't get me wrong, the Chiefs did a hell of a fucking job this year. But if he was on a different team, maybe, or I don't even know, dude. You could probably put him in the Lions for crying out loud, and they do something. Because that dude is phenomenal.
He's the future. I think if he remains healthy, and we see that it's not a flash in the pan. I mean, losing the AFC Championship game could deflate somebody. Who knows? I hope he keeps confidence. I hope he comes back next year just as stronger. I love seeing these young phenoms who are going to make a name for them. I love seeing that. I don't care if they're my opponent. That guy is good. He deserves to be in the playoffs. Hopefully he wins a ring if he can keep up that type of skill set. And, I mean, everyone's going to be so pissed off if Brady wins the championship, retires, and then they fucking somehow trade for Mahomes. I mean, I think that would be hilarious personally. But but anyways, we can talk about this.
We'll get something more on the next episode. But
we'll talk deeper about that. Oh man, so yeah, this was a good one, man. We're gonna I gotta edit this, get some moving done. I'm moving. It's my turn, and we'll try and get another one here this weekend. But like we said earlier, reach out to us if you want to. Don't if you don't want to. Joe, I'm gonna let you have the last word here.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. Like, we're doing pretty good here. Just two normal guys doing what they like, talking about games, playing games. Nice little easy podcast, and from the way it looks, man, it's actually going somewhere. It's getting some traction. So
it is.
I think we're doing pretty good.
Hey, you are you still liking that microphone?
I like this blue ball. It's nice, man.
Good.
You're so stupid. Oh man.
Hey, I'm Kevin.
I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Joe.
I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Joe.
And this is
the Backlog
Exposed.